It's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick Disney Plus news roundup. We're going to be talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame heading to Disney Plus. I'm going to also be talking about a brand new Christmas film, The Naughty Nine, and much more. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Okay, let's start off talking about The Abyss, which was a film that James Cameron directed back in the late 1980s. A fantastic film. Really enjoyed it. And James Cameron has been working on a 4K restoration version, and he recently showed it at a festival in California. And during a Q&A session after the special 4K version had been shown, he said that it's going to be coming soon to physical and also on to streaming. So don't know yet. He sort of said like maybe in the next few months. So no official date yet. I kind of suspect if they're going to get a physical version out, they're going to want to do that pretty soon, maybe in time for sort of Christmas time, because that's kind of when these kind of things would tend to sell better. Don't yet know when The Abyss is going to come on to Disney Plus, because as of yet, it's not on Disney Plus around the world. It's also not on Hulu. So that, yeah, I suspect we're going to see this, a nice 4K version of it. I haven't seen this movie. I can't remember the last time. It must be a long time ago. I remember having it on VHS a long time ago. But yeah, so if you're a fan of The Abyss, keep an eye out, because I think it's going to be coming pretty soon. I suspect they'll probably do a digital and a home video release first before it ends up coming to Disney Plus. But yeah, it's great to see this film getting a restored version. I mean, we've already seen it. James Cameron loves kind of going back and tinkering with his films and kind of making them in the best format they can. He's done it with Avatar. You've got Titanic is being re-released as well. Yeah, I think it's just great to see this. But if you're excited about The Abyss, let me know in the comments below. Disney has also released a new trailer for the upcoming holiday film, The Naughty Nine, which is going to be coming to the Disney Channel the day before Thanksgiving, and it'll be arriving on Disney Plus in the US on Thanksgiving Day. No word yet on the release date internationally. I suspect it's going to be pretty similar, because they want to get this one out in time for Christmas. So in the actual trailer itself, we get to see a load of kids who get put on the naughty list, and they end up getting a little bit annoyed by this and end up putting together a plan to basically go to the North Pole and get their presents back. So it's kind of a heist movie. Looks a lot of fun. This is a Disney original movie, which was what we would refer to generally as a Disney Channel original movie. They've kind of changed the wording a little bit, obviously with the Disney Channel becoming less important. But yeah, the trailer looks a lot of fun. You got Danny Glover in here as Santa. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a nice, easygoing, family-friendly kids film. Don't expect too much from it. It's, as I said, it's straight to Disney Channel. You know what you're going to expect from it. I think it looks a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to watching it. But what about you? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Disney's also announced that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony is actually going to be airing live on Disney Plus. We know it's just for the US at the minute. Not sure if it's going to be a global thing or not. It's going to be happening on the 3rd of November. A whole host of different people are going to be taking part in there. You're all going to be getting new inductions for Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott, George Michael, Willie Nelson, Rage Against the Machine. You're also going to have a whole host of other special guests as well in here. Yeah, I think this one's going to sound very interesting. Great to see Disney kind of breaking out and trying something a little bit different with getting different kinds of show. This used to be on HBO years ago. Yeah, and I think it's just showing like Disney's having a lot of success with music content. And yes, they're also going to be filming something that's going to go out on ABC on New Year's Day. So if you're a fan of the Hall of Fame ceremony, you're going to be able to check it out on Disney Plus. I think this is, again, Disney's really having a lot of success with this kind of music stuff. I think it's interesting. And I'm hoping that, you know, as we start going into the end of 2023, we're going to start seeing, I would say, Disney Plus starting to grow up. And the big green monster Hulu starts getting added in there later this year in the US. I think we're going to start seeing more of this kind of general entertainment stuff. Sounds pretty cool. But if you're interested in the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. There's two major new releases. Up first, we've got 2 new episodes of Marvel Studios Legends getting us ready for Loki next week. So if you've got an excuse to kind of watch Loki before the new season, and maybe you don't want to watch the entire first season, just watch these 2 little shorts. They'll kind of get you nicely warmed up for the show. It's always kind of a cool thing, I think, that they do this. The other major new release for today was the 2nd season of Launchpad. So we've got 6 new shorts, including Beautiful Florida, you've got Black Belts, you've got Ghost, Maxine, and Project CC, and The Roof. Now, I've watched all 6 shorts, and some of them I thought were really good, some of them less so. I think there was one major problem with all of the shorts, and that they were basically a little bit too long. They were all about 20 minutes apiece. I don't think some of the stories necessarily needed that long, but then there was a couple of stories that they maybe could have stretched out quite easily and turned into maybe a feature-length film. My personal favourite included Maxine, where it's kind of, they're having together a family event where all the ghosts come in and from their family, and she introduces her girlfriend to her parents for the first time, and we kind of get to see a member of the family that no one kind of knew, because she finds a little photograph. I thought it was really nice, very well done. That was definitely one of my favourite ones. One of the other shorts I really enjoyed was The Ghost, which is all about, there's this ghost in the house, and it ends up kind of taking away the parents and the sister from this little girl, because she's kind of getting angry with them and just frustrated with her parents as a whole, and she ends up having to kind of sort of save them from this ghost, because the ghost basically just wants to be forgiven. And it's a really nice short. You've also got some other elements in here as well, and especially a nice little bit about how the girl and her mum are kind of sort of drifting apart over their use of language, because the mum's generally speaking like Korean, and the girl was speaking English, and then she's just understanding less and less Korean. I thought that was an interesting aspect, and the whole thing as well of like the older sister trying to get the younger sister kind of, you know, to grow up, because I think she may be like heading off to college or something along those lines, and wants her little sister to be a little bit more active in looking at. I just thought that just worked really well. Overall, they're all right. I wouldn't necessarily say to watch all of them back to back. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Don't do a binge like I did, because yeah, some of them aren't so good. Like Project CC kind of feels a little bit like maybe like a cheap Disney Channel thing. Black Belt felt like a poor version of Cobra Kai. Yeah, they were all right. Probably my least favorite was Beautiful Florida, where she was making some ice cream, but it's kind of cookie dough ice cream. Now, I'd never had this before, but we were actually in Florida in Celebration. I remember we went into a store that we thought was an ice cream store, and we bought this ice cream and tried candy. Oh, it was horrible. So I'm not saying that's against the short, but just I don't have a great thing with that kind of type of ice cream. But it just felt very long-winded. It really didn't need 20 minutes. They could have really wrapped that up in probably 5 or 6. I think that's where I prefer the Spark shorts and the short circuit ones, which are much tighter, and I think that makes them a little bit better. But I love the fact that Disney are doing these things with Launchpad and these other shorts. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to let people have a go at this kind of thing, and just gives talents, people that they've got and stuff in there, some expertise and some practice. And ultimately, I think that's a good thing. And it's also not just them, but to the actors, the people filming it, directing it, you know, all the rest of it. It really does come together and give us a nice little collection. But yeah, check them out. Like I said, if I was you, I would say maybe check out The Ghost and Maxine as my 2 picks of ones I would pick out for you to watch if you're only going to pick up a few. If you like them, maybe check out the other ones. But as I said, don't do them all back to back. Spread them out a little bit. But let's now jump into our comment of the day. Joey asks, is Disney Plus gonna buy Netflix? I gotta say, this one, I was like, you know, we get a lot of stuff like, is Apple buying Disney and is Disney buying DC? But Disney buying Netflix. Ultimately, they probably wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think legally. I think there would be some problems with sort of regulation about the fact of having 2 big companies coming together like that. You probably wouldn't do it. I don't really think Disney needs Netflix in that way. You know, with you now, you know, when they sort out the Hulu situation and sort of whatever they're doing with Star Plus as well, and kind of combine things, you've got a streaming service there that's combined, which is got everything that they need to. They've got all the studios. There's not really anything that Netflix does differently that Disney Plus doesn't have internationally. Yeah, there's like algorithms and stuff, but Disney spent so much money doing this, and they're about to spend billions more on acquiring the last stake of Hulu to kind of really give Disney Plus in the US a big boost. And I can't really stress, especially from like US audiences and stuff, Disney Plus is going to go through a drastic change when they start adding in that Hulu content. The rest of us outside the US are already kind of used to this kind of content coming in there and know the value of what that's brought to it. Most of us will agree that we watch so much more Disney Plus because there's much more selection, much more choice. You can watch different kinds of things on there, and more of the family are going to be able to watch it. which I think is one of the great things that Netflix was able to do. Netflix was the first, it is the biggest, but there's going to be some competition from there. I don't necessarily think Disney need to spend money buying Netflix, and I think at the minute Netflix is probably, with the value of their stock, is probably much higher than Disney in some respects. I know back in the pandemic they were listed as higher in value than Disney, yet Disney had theme parks and cruise lines, and Netflix is just a streaming service. I don't know, I think Disney, they're in a situation now, they've built up enough technology, and I think once they sort out this Hulu situation, you're really going to start seeing Disney Plus really kind of going after Netflix with no more hands tied behind its back with 2 different services and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a lot better. But let us know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at whatsonatdisneyplus.com, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.